Hi, guys. Good morning. I hope you're able to hear me. Can anyone please confirm?
Yes, sir.
Perfect. So till last session, we have seen our collection data types, and there is a one more data type is pending, but I'll take it in a different way. So I'll just give a recorded one. So to save some time. Okay, so dict is pending, but that I'll give in a different approach. The recorded session that I'll give so that we can go through that. So whatever we have seen, that is more enough basically if you wanted to work on it. So we have seen a list data type and tuple data types we have seen. These two are mandatory for us. And today I'm going to take you through very important concepts for programming. So whatever the programming you're having, definitely the loops are going to be there, or conditional statements. We need to know how we can write it. So if statement I'm going to take you through, and while loop, how we can have a while loop that we are going to see. If I wanted to control the flow of execution your program, if you want to control the execution of the execution of your program, then we are going to use conditional statements. So many places we are going to use these conditional statements. Let's say, for example, if and condition. If remember, we have seen if condition activity. If condition activity, we have come across it, right? So if condition activity is used to have it, two conditions we are going to have it. Condition one, if condition is satisfied, then true block will be executed. If condition is failed, then else block will be executed. So here I'm just saying if this condition always going to be having a colon. So wherever there is a condition, when the moment you use the if, then you're going to write a condition. After condition, you have to give a colon. So that indicates you started or you are going inside the if condition. So that is the meaning of it. Then you can write the block of statements. You can have a block. Okay, so this is one thing that we are going to say. If condition is checked, condition checked for one time and block execution for one time. So here you are going to check the one time and you are going to execute this block of statements one time. You may have a requirement to check the conditions multiple times, and execution of the blocks is also going to be multiple times. So if that is the case, then you have to use the while loop. This is for single condition, single execution of your block. And if you wanted to go for multiple times, then you're going to use the while loop. Here you're going to write the condition same in place of the if, you're going to write the while. And block of statements, you're going to have it. So condition is checked for multiple times till the condition is satisfied. Then it is going to iterate the loop as many times as we required. And block execution also is going to be multiple times. So how it is going to be possible when we see practically, then you can understand how exactly it is going to be happen. And then we have one more thing is the loop. So repeating the block of code is nothing but a loop. Of course, this while is a loop. While is a loop. This is a condition. Of course, here I have a condition and here also I have a condition. But that condition I'm checking multiple times. I'm looping again and again. So for that reason, we are going to use this while condition, like for each activity in the data factory. And till the condition is satisfied, which means till the condition is true, and repeat the block of code. So we are going to have a condition here. If that condition is satisfied, then it will come out of it. Otherwise, it is going to iterate the loop again and again. Now, I wanted to write a program to display a text. 5 times I wanted to display the text. So if that is the case, then I'm just writing here. Here I'm writing print Bhaskar one time, second time, third time, fourth time, 5 times. So total 5 times it is going to be printed. Total 5 times it is going to be printed. Okay, so I just wanted to execute it and see the result. 5 times you're getting. I don't want to write this much lines of the code for printing. I wanted to do it automatically. With one time I'm going to write it and I wanted to reuse multiple times. So if that is the case, then you have to use the loop. In the loop, I'm going to say here, one variable I'm declaring here. Num equals to 1. It's a declaration. You know that. This is a declaration variable, assignment operator or a declaration operator. And then I'm writing a condition here while num less than or equal to 5, colon. That means this is a condition now. This part is the condition. We know already how we can frame the condition. If you want to frame the condition, we require column name, operator, and value. So in this particular case, when it comes to the programming, we are going to take that as a variable. So variable, operator, and value. So that is what I'm having here. If this condition is satisfied, then go inside the while loop. You're keeping this colon means you're going inside. So indentation is going to start from here. Your this is the four spaces are going to be spaces will be there because we are not going to have a opening brace and closing brace. So automatically Python follows indentation. That indentation says we are there in a while loop. See here, you have a 4 spaces will be there here. Okay, so then I'm just taking a print statement, print of Bhaskar. So then print is going to be happen. So once it is printed, then I'm taking num equals to num plus 1. Num equals to num plus 1. So what is the number when I'm having first time? It is 1. So 1 will come here. 1 will come to here. 1 plus 1 is it is what? 2. So 2 will be assigned to number. Then again it will go and check the condition. This number while loop is going to, it's a loop, right? So while is a loop, it's not a condition. Okay, it's not a if one to check one time. So this number will come to here, again it will check the condition. So now the value of this num is 2. So 2 less than or equal to 5. It's a condition is true. Okay, so the condition is true. Then it is going to come here and again it is going to add. So this will be printed and num plus 1 is 2 plus 1 is 3 and 3 will be assigned back to the num and it will check 3 less than or equal to 5. So condition is true. Again Bhaskar will be printed and then it is going to add 3 plus 1 is 4 and 4 will be assigned to the num and again it is checking the condition here. 4 less than or equal to 5. Condition is true. Bhaskar will be printed again and 5 will be 4 plus 1 is going to get 5 and 5 will be assigned to this and it is checking this condition. 5 less than or equal to 5. Condition is true. Again Bhaskar will be printed and 5 plus 1 is 6 and 6 will be assigned to num and now it is checking 6 less than or equal to 5. Condition is failed. When the condition is failed, it will come out of the while loop. So this is how it is going to print it. Is everyone clear how this loop is going to work? Any question? Now let's observe. I'm just going to execute this. Num equal to num plus 1 is same as num plus equals to 1. Let's execute and see the result. So wherever you wanted to execute multiple times, the code, if you wanted to execute the piece of the code multiple times, then we are going to keep that in the loop. So if we give this condition, if you don't give this condition, or if you give like true condition always, it is going for infinite loop. This is now if you see this one infinite loop, it is going to be there. So infinitive block and do not I don't want to execute it because if I execute, sometimes this file is going to be corrupted. So I equals to 1 and while true I'm taking. So last time I've taken num less than or equal to 5. It's a condition. You're making sure at some point of time you can come out of it. But here I'm just keeping always true. If it is always true, it is going to be it is going to be executed again and again. It's an infinite loop. Okay, so to avoid that, I'm just going to break this one here. Inside this print, I'm giving Python and I equal to I plus 1 because I have declared 1 and I equals to I plus 1. If I equals to 5, then break it. So I'm using the break statement here. If I don't have this piece of code, then it is going to be executed as like an infinite loop. If you take out this particular code, only this particular code, if you take out it will execute infinite times. So here I wanted to print only 5 numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Then I'm just taking a condition here. If I equals to 5, if the value equals to 5, then use the break to break it. So once it is broken, then it will come out of the while loop. I can execute this here. See, if I don't have this break statement, it will go for infinite loop, and I don't want to execute with infinite loop. If you want, you can try by taking out it. Now this one, what output we are going to get here? If I use this one, I have 100, I equals to 100. And then I greater than 10. 100 greater than 10. Is that true or not? It is true. Then Python will be printed. Then I equal to I minus 20. What is the I value? 100. 100 minus 20? 80. Then 80 greater than 10. Condition is true. Then again Python will be printed. Then I equal to I minus 20. I is 80. 80 minus 20. What is the value? 60. And 60 greater than 10. So Python will be printed, right? Condition is true. And then we have a I minus 20, right? 60 minus 20, 40. And 40 greater than 10. It is true. So then Python will be printed. Then 40 minus 20. 20 is there. And 20 greater than 10. Condition is true. Python will be printed. Okay. And 20 minus 20. 0. 0 greater than 10. Is that true? Failed. So once the condition is failed, then it is not going to print it. So that is what it is going to do. So 5 times Python is going to be printed. Is everyone clear with the while loop?
Yes, sir.
Let's execute it. Now you can see 5 times it is printed. That's this one. Try to understand this. Psi equals to 100. Same, 100 greater than 10. It is true. Then Python will be printed. Okay, so I equal to I minus 20. That means 100 minus 20. What is the value? 80 we are going to get it. Then I'm checking the condition here. 80 equal to 40. Is 80 equal to 40? Condition is failed. So break will not execute. Again, it will go to the loop. Okay, so it is going to check 80 greater than 10. Condition is true. Then Python will be printed. So then I'm deducting 20 here. That means 80 minus 20. 60. So I'm checking the condition. 60 equal to 40. Condition is failed. Then again it will go up. And then I'm checking the condition here. 60 greater than 10. Condition is true. Then Python will be printed. And then I equal to I minus 20. So 60 minus 20. What is the value? 40. Then I'm checking the condition here. I equal to 40. That means 40 equal to 40. Condition is true. So when condition is true, then break is going to be happen. So when it is break, then the loop is going to be, you're going to come out of the loop. So when you are going to come out of the loop is, if this condition is satisfied, you can come out of the loop, or within the block, if you have a break statement, in that case also you're going to come out of it. Okay, so that is how it is going to be there. Let me execute this. You can see 3 times it is printed. The next is, here I'm taking I equals I less 1 less than 5. Then it is going to print Bhaskar. Okay, so I equals to 5. So 1 is 1 less than 5, it is true, right? It's one time checking. If it's one time checking, and this block of code is going to be one time execution. So 1 less than 5, it is true, then Bhaskar will be printed. And then I'm checking I equals to 5. I mean, here I'm assigning one variable, I equals to 5. Then I'm having a while loop here, and I greater than or equal to 10. That means 5 greater than or equal to 10. Is that true? 5 greater than or equal to 10. I value is 5. Condition is failed. Condition is failed, right? Let me check this one. Yeah, so only Bhaskar only is going to be executed because this condition itself failed. So when it is when condition is failed, then it will not go inside that. So in place of this, if you have a less than, then you can try. You can attempt for that. Something like this. If I have it, then 5 less than or equal to 10. That is true. 5 less than or equal to 10. It is true. Then Python will be printed along with the Bhaskar, and I equal to I plus 5. So that means 5 plus 10. 5 plus 5 is going to be 10, and 10 less than or equal to 10. Condition is satisfied. One more Python is going to be printed. In the next iteration, it is going to be failed. So this will be the output if you can give a less than or equal to. Just try for that. You can see. So you need to understand the code, how exactly we wanted to control it. Now what it is going to do here, I equals to 1. I equals to 1. And you are taking a while loop, I less than or equal to 5. So I less than or equal to 5 means 1 less than or equal to 5. Condition is true. Then I'm just going to take the number from outside. Some number is going to store inside this n. And then I plus 1. I plus 1. So I plus 1 is I equal to 1, and plus 1 is 2, and 2 will be assigned to the I. Now I equals to 2. Okay, so it's simple. It is going to take the 5 numbers here. It is going to take the 5 numbers. So just observe. Let's execute it. It is asking. I'm just taking a 10, hit enter. 20, second time, third time, fourth time, 5 times. So 5 times it is taking the numbers. So execution of this code is 5 times. This code is going to be executed 5 times because you're having a condition I less than or equal to 5, and every time you're adding only 1. So 5 times it is taking. So here I'm taking, write a program to add the 5 numbers of the user input. Whatever the user is added these numbers I wanted to add it. Select 10 plus, 20 plus, 30 plus, 40 plus, 50. So I wanted to add all these numbers. So if you want to add all these numbers, then how you are going to add that, we are going to see in this particular function, in this particular program. So first I'm taking I equals to 1. And total I'm taking a variable And here I'm just taking I less than or equal to 5. 5 times it is going to print, it is going to take it. Okay, so I'm just taking the values from outside. You can enter the value, and that value I'm going to keep in the n. So total plus n is going to be added to the total, and I plus 1, you have to iterate the loop, right? So it is going to be iterated. So first time 1 less than or equal to 5 condition is true. Then I'm going to enter the value as 10. Let's say, for example, yeah, let's take a 10. I'm just going to take a 10. Now, what is the value of the total? When this statement is executed, total is 0. So 0 plus 10, 10. So 10 will be assigned to the total. Now total is having 10. In the next iteration, I plus 1. So 1 plus 1 is 2. So I equals to 2. Then it will go to this condition here. That means 2 less than or equal to 5. Condition is satisfied. Then again, I'm going to enter the value 20. Now, what is the total I'm having here? Total is 10. So 10 plus 10, 10 plus 20, 30. 30 will be assigned to the total. And I plus 1. So that means 2 plus 1 is 3. So 3 less than or equal to 5. 3 less than or equal to 5. And total plus n. Now this time I'm going to enter 30. I'm already having a 30 here. So 30 plus 30, 60. So 60 will be assigned to here. Okay. So like that, it is going to iterate the loop and it is going to get the total. Let's execute it. I'm just taking a 10, 20, 30, 40, and 50. So total is 150. Okay. So only thing is you are taking from the customer. I mean, from the outside, you're taking the numbers. Write a program to enter any values by the user and make sure to stop the program if the user enters as. So here I'm taking a 5 numbers only, but I wanted to enter as many numbers as you want. And if the user wants to stop entering the numbers with some condition, then I wanted to break it. So same to same program, total equal to 0. And while I'm giving a true here, so true means every time it is going to take the value. And I'm just giving an input to the, I'm just taking the numbers from keyboard, and that number is going to be stored inside this n. If n equals to, if user enters as, then I wanted to stop it. If the user enters as, then stop this program. If n equals to as, then break it. Else, continue this. So I'm going to enter these numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. After that, I'm going to enter as to stop it. The total you have to get 15. Observe. Let's execute it. Now I'm having, it is asking to enter the value. Let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I'm going to enter this as. Then it will come out of the loop. If you don't enter this, then it is going to continue. Because you are taking a true block here. Every condition, everything is going to be satisfied. So when it is going to be broken is you are wantedly making a break based on some value. So that is what the as. Write a program to enter any values by the user and make sure to stop the program if total is 100. Now the total comes 100, then I wanted to stop it. For this one, I wanted to write a program. So total equal to 0. So while you have to give the true only, because you have to take the values. And the total is total plus a val n. So basically, this is going to get a text value. Okay, so when you enter the value here 10, the 10 is going to be inputted to and stored inside this n. This is going to come as a string data type. So to convert that into, I mean to say, to bring that as a number, as original data type, then you can use a val. A val of n is going to take the number, and total will be stored here. I'm just giving a condition here. If total is greater than or equal to 100, then I wanted to break it. So here, same to same. Here I have a if condition. Here also I have a if condition. The difference here is I'm taking the based on the total value. So that is the only difference here. Let's execute it. Let's say 10, 20, 30, 40. See here. So when it is crossed, when it is crossed 100, then the program execution is stopped. So there are many examples are there with while loop. And again here also what it is taking I equals to 1. Then while is true. That means infinite loop. Inside this while, I'm checking the condition if I greater than or if I greater than 10. I is 1 now. So 1 greater than 10. 1 greater than 10. So 1 is not greater than 10, right? So it is going to be broken. It is going to broken here. Let me check. Let's execute it. So 1 and 6 is printed. One and 6 printed. How? Yeah, so if it is greater than 10, then only it is going to break it, right? So 1 greater than 10, it is failed. So this is not going to be executed. Then else block will be executed. So in the else block, I'm just printing it. What is the I value? I value equals to 1, right? Here we assigned. So 1 will be printed. 1 will be printed. Then it will go to the second time. It is true. Then again it is checking I greater than, before that you have to see here 1 plus, 1 plus 6 is 1 plus 5 is 6. Now I equal to 6. Okay, in the second iteration you are checking a 6 greater than 10. It's not a 6 greater than 10. So condition is failed, so break is not going to be executed. Then else block will be executed. In the else block print I. So I, we are having a 6. So 6 will be printed. And I plus 5 is going to be 11. So now I equals to 11. And the loop will be iterated again. So it is checking here 11 greater than 10. Now the condition is satisfied. 11 is greater than 10. So I'm having a break and break is going to be executed. So because of that reason, in the output, you're having 1 and 6. Okay, I have given note here. If break is executed inside the loop, then else block will not be executed. So it is going to come out of the while loop. And I equals to 1 here, I less than or equal to 5. That means 1 less than or equal to 5 condition is satisfied. Then I is going to be printed. So I equal to 1. So 1 will be printed. And I equal to I plus 2. So 1 plus 2, that is 3. That means I equals to 3. I equals to 3. Okay, so I'm checking here I equals to 3 and 3 equals to 5 condition is failed. So break is not going to be executed and else block will be executed here. Not else block. Because it once it is failed, then it is going to come for while loop. So this is not going to be executed. It will go back to the while loop. So I less than or equal to 5. I less than or equal to 5 means what is the value of I? 3. So 3 less than or equal to 5 condition is satisfied. Then I will be printed. Now I is having 3. Output is 3. I mean 3 will be printed. And 3 plus 2. 5. Now I equals to 5. Okay, so here I'm checking 5 equal to 5, condition is satisfied, then break is going to be executed. So once it is broken, then it will come out of the while loop, and then else block will be executed. So Python is going to be executed because this else is not inside the while, it is outside the while. Let's execute it. Oh my god. Okay, this is not going to be executed. Only if we have a inside the while, then only it is going to be executed. Inside the while also is not going to be. Let's see. We'll keep inside. Okay. If this is failed, then else block will be executed. Yeah. I have to do some workaround when it is programming, definitely. If break is not executed inside the loop, then else block will be executed. If this was not executed, then this will be executed. So while I'm having I less than or equal to 5, that means 1 less than or equal to 5, that is satisfied. So 1 less than or equal to 5, satisfied. So 1 will be printed, and I equal to I plus 2. So 1 plus 2 is 3. Now I equals to 3, and 3 equals to 10, you are checking. Condition is failed. Condition is failed. So once condition is failed, then again it will go back to here. So 3 less than or equal to 5. Condition is true. So 3 will be printed. And then I'm having 3 equals to 10. 3 equals to 10. So condition is failed. So break will not execute. And okay, so there is some difference. Same only. Okay, let's track this one. So now I equals to 3. So 3 equals to 10. Condition is failed. So it will go for again back. Now I equal to 3, not 3. So in the second iteration, I'm having 3 plus 2 equal to 5. And I equals to 5. You're checking 5 equal to 10. So condition is failed. So again, it will go back here. 5 will be printed. And the next iteration, what value are going to print? So 5 is there. 5 less than or equal to 5. Condition is failed, right? 5 less than or equal to 5 is fine. One of them is satisfied. And then I plus 2, 5 plus 2 is 7. So now I equal to 7. So here I'm checking the condition here, 7 equal to 10, condition is failed. Then it will go here. So 7 is there. So 7 less than or equal to 5 is failed. If break is not executed inside the loop, break is not executed, then else block will be executed. So here break is not getting executed. In the previous statement, the break was executed. Here when it is 5 equal to 5, the break was executed, so this else block was not executed. Now this time here, previously, the break was executed. So since the break was executed, this else block was not executed. Now here, the break is not getting executed. If the break is not executed inside the while loop, then else block will be executed. So the value is going to get, Python also is getting here. So here when I execute here, Python is not coming, but here Python is coming here because your break is not executed here. Okay, you got my point, right? So if you have a break statement in the while loop, if that break is executed, then else block is not going to be executed. If the break is not executed, then else block will be executed. Okay, so here I wanted to add the items to the list. I have an empty list. We already know about the list. So 5 numbers I wanted to add into this place, like 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma 4 comma 5. Okay, so whatever the numbers you entered, in the same way I wanted to add it. Okay, so I'll enter only 1 2 3 4 5. We'll see what is the value that we're going to get it here. So first I equals to 1, an empty list. Then 1 less than or equal to 5. Condition is satisfied. I'll enter 1 here. So 1 will come to n. List.append, we have come across this function, lst.append function is going to append the value to the list. Now inside the list, what value you're going to have is 1. Okay, so this 1 will be there. And I equal to I plus 1. I equal to I plus 1 means what is the value of I? 1. 1 plus 1 is 2. So 2 will come to here. 2 less than or equal to 5. Condition is satisfied. Then again, I'm just going to enter 2 number. You can enter any numbers here. It is going to be iterated 5 times. Let's execute it. I'm just taking 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. You can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now again, I'm just going to execute 10, 20, 30, 40, and 50. Okay, it is printing 1, 2, 3. So append I, it is going to be printed. If you can say append n, then you can say whatever you entered, that is going to be printed. I mean 10, 20, 30, 40, and 50. So I'm entering these numbers. All these numbers are there inside the list. Whatever you entered, that I wanted to keep in the list. Okay, you got my point, right? So I'll give a statement here. Just try. I'm having a list of values. Okay, or let me say I wanted to print 1 to 5 numbers. To print 1 to 5 numbers, I wanted to write a program. How can you do it? Simple. We're going to say I equals to 1. Then I'm going to use the while condition. While I less than or equal to 5, colon, print of I. So it is going to print 5 numbers. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh my God. This is a while, this is infinite loop, dangerous. It's not going to come out of it. I have to stop this. It's my bad. So when you use the while loop, you have to use very carefully. But apart from the while, basically we are going to see the for loop. So when you see the for loop, then it is going to be much more easier. Colon. So here I equals to I plus 1. You have to use this statement. If you don't use this statement, then it is going to be printed multiple times. Let's say print of I, and then I equals to I plus 1. If this condition is satisfied, then it is going to come out of the while loop. Now I can say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is printed. Okay, so I wanted to print only even numbers. If I wanted to print only even numbers, the same to same, I'm just going to take. There will be no much differences. So inside this, I'm going to have one more condition here. If I modulus 2 equals to 0, then I wanted to print the statement. Okay. If I modulus equals to 0, then print the number, otherwise do not print it. Then it is going to iterate the loop. Then you can see here, you have only even numbers. If I wanted to get the odd numbers, then simply I'm just going to say 1 here. If modulus is equal to 1, then it is going to print the odd numbers. So if you want to print this odd numbers total, then how you're going to do it? You have to iterate the loop and you have to apply the total. It's a general approach. The same to same, I'm just taking here. So instead of printing, we need to declare one variable, total equals to 0. So here I'm going to say total equals to total plus 1. Total plus I. So total plus I, we are going to do it. And finally, we can print total. So 1 plus 3 is 4, 4 plus 5 is 9. So total 9 you're getting. So you can play however you wanted to play with the coding. So this is about the while loop. And next is for loop we are having. So this is very important for us. So this is a option 1, but it is a bad option. So to print the text 5 times, then you have to use the 5 times print statement. Instead of this, we went for while loop to print 5 times by providing the condition while I less than or equal to 5. Now I have a I equals to 1, 1 less than or equal to 5, then this print statement will be executed. And make sure when you use this while loop, make sure to use this assignment again. So I equal to I plus 1. So 5 times it is going to be executed. The piece of code is going to be executed 5 times. Now, if you execute this, so 5 times are there, and this one also is going to be 5 times. But the same thing I can also do with the help of loop. With the help of for loop, I can do it. If you remember, we came across the for each activity in the data factory. The collection of items we have given. So collection of items, how did we get? We got the collection of items with lookup activity we have seen. And we also get the collection of items with get metadata activity. If you remember, get metadata activity. So the output of them, we have given it to for each activity in the data factory. In the same way here, collection of items, you're getting what? With the help of list. So list is going to have a collection of object, tuple is going to have a collection of object. Okay, so I wanted to iterate the list of items inside the list. Then we are going to say for loop, for. Then make sure you need to define one variable here because you have to take this value inside this. In, I'm just iterating. This is the syntax you need to remember. Okay, so for, you can specify the variable name here, for loop, then variable name in collection or list, colon. Then if you want to print off this variable name, then you can print the variable name here. So that is what I'm just doing here. So instead of printing that, I'm just printing my own statement here. Let's execute this. It is going to print 5 times this basket. If I wanted to print even I, then I'm just going to say I. So I will be printed. You can say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. First, this will be printed. Then second, this will be printed. And third will be printed, and so on. So this is how we are going to print the list of items. Okay, so loop means it is going to iterate the loop. So when you go for this while loop can be used with condition, and we can also use infinite loop, and that infinite loop we can start with the help of break statement. So that we already discussed about it. So while loop and infinite loop, we have seen that infinite loop we start with the help of break statement. And now we are going to see the for loop. So for loop is going to be printed as many number of items are there. If the for loop is having 10 items, then 10 times it is going to be printed. And if the for loop is having 20 items, then it is going to be printed 20 times. Okay, so we'll talk about this for loop more in detail on tomorrow. And we'll complete this for loop as much as possible on tomorrow. Then we're going to start talking about Databricks. Okay, so I'll leave something for you from the for loop, and we are going to start talking about how we can use, like, we'll start with the Apache Spark, then followed by Databricks. But for loop is very, very important. Keep in mind. Any question before stopping? Okay, then. Thank you for joining. We'll see you on tomorrow. Bye.